Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. Got what the 2024 NFL season will tell us. Let's check this out.
Okay, so I know the NFL season is still a few months away at this point, but I thought now would be a pretty good time to look at a ton of very interesting NFL teams and see some questions that need to be answered. Whether these teams will improve, continue to get worse, or stay the exact same they have for years at this point. Let's do it. Let's look at a few NFL teams that I thought were the most interesting to look at and see what the 2024 NFL season might have in store for them. What better team to start with than the Kansas City Chiefs? And they still have a ton of questions despite having Patrick Mahomes on the roster. Obviously, no matter what, they are going to be contending for another Super Bowl. Like it or not, this team still does have pieces, but the wide receiver room is where the biggest questions for me start. Obviously, you can't really...
I mean, yeah, but they still have a nice trio with Worthy, who the rookie they drafted out of Texas, Rashee Rice, and Hollywood Brown. You know what I'm saying? They're all fast as shit too, especially Xavier Worthy, who broke the combine record at 4.2 flat or something like that. Rashee Rice, we don't even know if he's going to be able to start the season, you know what I'm saying? He's most likely going to get suspended for a few games, but when he comes back, they're going to have a nice little, you know what I'm saying, receiving room with those three, plus Travis Kelce is always Mahomes' favorite target. Justin Watson as well, who's a underrated receiver for me. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, the Chiefs, it's definitely upgraded from last year.
We don't really know what's going to happen with Rashee Rice's legal situation, and with Marquise Brown and Xavier Worthy coming to town, Patrick Mahomes is going to have to develop a lot of new chemistry with some guys that he's never thrown at before. Like I said, it's not really going to be a matter of are the Chiefs going to be Super Bowl contenders or not, because they obviously are, you know. I think they're definitely going to finish with a winning record, but Kelce is getting up there in age too, and I think at the end of the regular season last year, he really was declining. He's out of his prime for sure at this point, although he's able to turn it on in the playoffs.
But Kelce is still one of the best tight ends in the league, regardless.
He's not the same player anymore. And then you get into the questions of Chris Jones's contract, because he's also pretty old too, and I don't know if he's going to be able to be worth all that money in a few years. But the defense is still going to be great. L'Jarius Sneed leaving is going to be a massive hit.
Yeah,
for them,
that was
so many young
big
pieces,
deal
and
right
they just
there for
continue to hit on their draft classes year after year.
Hey, but it's time for Trent McDuffie to step up to be the true number one cornerback.
Be fine.
I was about to say receiver, my dumb ass.
49ers, a team that somehow lost the Super Bowl, and they are still in the best situation in the NFL for this year. Yes, the Brandon Ayuk thing looks like it's going to end pretty soon, but it might not
either good or bad. Yeah,
and
you may get traded.
Christian McCaffrey, but the time is coming. This year, like I said, is going to be another great year. They're going to be the best team.
Let's talk about this for a second. If they do trade Ayuk, I know it will be a huge loss. It will be a huge loss for sure. But they will still have good weapons, you know what I'm saying, for Brock Purdy to be good. Obviously, they have CMC, George Kittle, Debo, and they also drafted, what's the name, Ricky Pearsall as well. And what's the dude from, I think it was from Arizona or something like that. I forgot his name. Y'all let me know, y'all Niners fans and shit like that. But I feel like that offense is still going to be good regardless, but probably not as explosive as they were with Ayuk, because he's their best pure receiver. You know what I'm saying? Great route runner, great separator. But hey,
team in the league, they're going to be the most.
I just don't know what's going to happen with that whole situation. We just did a video on that
for sure. Trent Williams
as well. That should be out
40 years old at this point, and he can't
right
just
before
keep being the best player in the league for longer, I don't think. And then Brock Purdy's time for a generational contract is going to come. Dude can't keep living out of apartments for long, and he is going to get Trevor Lawrence money, I am sure of it. And the question is going to be, do the 49ers pay him that and then deal with the repercussions to other positions, having to lose a ton of skill position guys, and just trusting that Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey being enough to carry the offense? And I'm not really sure what the answer to that question is, but one thing's for certain, this team is still amazing, and they just have to execute. That's all they have to do. Just make one more play and you win the Super Bowl!
And it's like, it's crazy because it's not really their fault, for real. They got all the talent. It's who y'all have at head coach, bro. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Shanahan, he's good in regular season, but when it comes to the fucking playoffs, bro, it just chokes time and time again, bro. Especially in the Super Bowl. He's 0-3 at the Super Bowl. Like, he's got to get things together as well, because it's not just the Niners offensive players and defensive players.
Speaking of a team that really just makes you want to grab your organs out and throw them down the toilet, the Dallas Cowboys.
Damn.
Well, they made a very stark decision by deciding to keep Mike McCarthy on the coaching staff. I
over Bill Belichick
that was
too.
The move, but they
come on now.
had to do that because the Dak.
That's why I keep saying get Jerry Jones out of the office, bro.
Keeps going, so you might as well bring both of them along for the ride. And all of the
but he's the owner,
so
seen
from the Cowboys
not much you can really do with that unless he sells the organization.
Contract. But the question is, should they pay Dak Prescott?
Hell no.
Let's not get things twisted. Dak Prescott is still a very, very good quarterback.
I think so too, but bro, look at who else they have to pay, like CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. That should be their number one priority right now is re-signing CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. Let Dak go, bro. Please just let this nigga go. I'm not a Cowboys fan, bro, but seeing this shit time and time again, watch them be good in the playoffs and then not in the playoffs, in the regular season, then watch them be bad in the playoffs. It's heartbreaking for me because, like, bro, they do all this every year and then just don't show up in the playoffs. So let this nigga go and just start over, bro. Draft a QB or even pay Trey Lance on a 1-year prove-it deal like the Bucks did Baker Mayfield.
That the man almost won the MVP last season. I don't know why the Cowboys keep losing in the playoffs. There is no rational explanation for how this keeps happening, but it does keep happening. So you would think that this would have been the offseason for the Cowboys to go all in, but because of cap and Jerry Jones reasons, pretty much the only thing they got back was Eric Kendricks, who isn't going to do anything for them. So the Cowboys are going to remain the exact same. It's going to be another great regular season and a first-round exit, and maybe the Cowboys
they probably not even going to make the playoffs this year.
To see how
Let's
much
keep it a buck.
the human mind can possibly take. The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo.
Now, there are a lot of things that need to be addressed.
Yeah, who's going to be their true number one wide receiver?
Josh Allen is not one of them. We know he is amazing. Josh Allen is a top 3 quarterback in football, no questions asked. His turnover issues were solved a little bit during the season, but the emergence of James Cook was huge for the offense.
Yeah, as long as he cuts down on turnovers, he's going to be like in that MVP conversation.
Josh Allen. Obviously, there's going to be questions about Diggs leaving, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal without him there. By year's end,
blurry.
he really just wasn't producing well at all. And in the playoffs, Khalil Shakir just straight up outplayed him. So with Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir, like I said, and Keon Coleman, they should be fine there. And
he also signed MVS,
a receiver too. So they should be
that's
fine.
Probably not. He's probably not going to do shit for real.
I don't know, man. It's going to be sketchy. For the first time since 2017, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, their safety duo, will not be there. And also add on injuries to Matt Milano and Tre'Davious White, who's now gone. Matt Milano's still there, but he may never be healthy again. So,
damn.
I don't know. This team is so scary. In one world, I can see them just winning the Super Bowl in dominant fashion, and in another, one Josh Allen injury, and this team may not even win 5 games.
Oh yeah, they're going to be cooked if he gets hurt. But I think because of how tough he is and how big and like, you know what I'm saying, bulky and shit, like he's not going to get hurt, bro. I 100% agree that he's going to stay healthy because of how big he is.
Lions had probably the most impressive season out of
I'm hoping for a Ravens Lions Super Bowl this year.
Pound, nobody thought that this team was going to make the NFC Championship, and coming one historic collapse away from winning the Super Bowl. But as of right now, I would strangle a small animal to be in your position, Lions fans.
Nigga!
Everything that Ben Johnson came back. Everything. The entire offense is going to be the most predictable unit in football, being that we know exactly what they're going to be like this next season. But they're going to be great, so it's not really a problem. Sam Laporta is primed to take over the title as the league's best tight end, and Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra are 2 of the most dangerous weapons in football. The O-line is still elite, but the defense, just like the Bills, could get a little bit sketchy. The corner was a massive problem for the Lions last year, and although they did fill the hole by drafting my favorite corner in the draft, Terrion Arnold, they still have an issue at the other corner spot, which is now being filled by Carlton Davis.
Yeah, he struggled last year, but I'm not even gonna lie. I do like the trade that they made for him, but he did struggle a lot last year, and I think that's another reason why they drafted another corner in Enoch Rakestraw, who was great for Mizzou last year. But I think they're still going to be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? You also got Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph,
Amik Robertson. And those are 2 guys you do not want to see starting at corner for you. But I don't know. Maybe you can squeak by with just one weakness on the team. So everyone is expecting an easy division crown for the Lions. And maybe, just maybe, the Super Bowl might be a realistic goal for them next season. Oh, Eagles.
Yeah, we already. I ain't gonna say too much about the Eagles because I literally just did a video about them, so I'm gonna be quiet for this one.
biblical disaster last year was. I've never seen a collapse like that in my life. I've never seen it, and I still don't know how to feel from here on out with this team. On one hand, the offense is so talented. Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, they have so many weapons, and obviously they just brought in Saquon Barkley too, and I love a majority of the offensive changes they made too, with Kellen Moore being a massive piece to help Saquon hopefully become
that should improve Jalen Hurts' passing game.
But that is if he stays healthy. And on defense, things are just a massive problem again.
I think he will stay healthy because he the offense doesn't really revolve around him anymore, because when he was a part of New York, that was the offense. That was the only good skill player they had out of the whole offense, bro. So him being in Philly, they probably not going to use him like as much as the Giants did, but just keep giving him the ball, and just adding more wear and tear on his body. So him going to Philly is going to be, you know what I'm saying, good for
Nolan
him.
Smith to just take a massive
on his
step
health
forward in their developments, because honestly, I don't. And maybe Vic Fangio can help this team a little bit more than Matt Patricia can, but their two big signings were CJ Gardner-Johnson, who I know played well for Philly last time he was there, and Devin White, who seemed absolutely cooked last year. And this team could score about 35 points per game, but it doesn't matter if they're giving up 42 in the process. So They can't really get worse than last season, though. That is one positive. It cannot get worse than last year. Hopefully. Now, I am getting a lot of hate, and probably rightfully so, for saying the Houston Texans are overrated. But that doesn't mean I don't think they'll be very...
And I also saw another video. It was by Metro Sports or whatever, but I'm not going to do a reaction on that video because, you know what I'm saying, he said, are the Texans overrated? How the hell are the Texans possibly overrated? They just started getting hype. They literally just started getting hype like halfway through the season last year up to now. Like, how are they overrated?
The offense has no excuse to not be maybe the best in football. CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon, who, you know, kind of sucks, but he is a running back, and a starting running back at that. They also have the best wide receiver room in football too, so there's that. Laramie Tunsil anchoring the offensive line is going to be amazing too, and with all of those pieces, this group is just deadly. But I don't know. I really hate that they couldn't re-sign Jonathan Grenard.
That's what he got Danielle Hunter.
Season, and although Danielle Hunter is going to help that, I just don't think
it's crazy they switched teams as well.
The same amount of impact as Grenard did last year. But I will.
Bro, what? Do you not notice they had 17 and a half sacks last year?
Clock and be amazing again, then that might be the best move of the entire offseason. And I also love the Danico Autry signing, and paired with Danielle Hunter, they can really wreck things. But they are putting a lot of stock into Derek Stingley trying to become one of the best cornerbacks in the league, because he's kind of holding down that secondary by himself. And as of right now,
y'all are really hearing this nigga, bro. Like, he's acting like Jalen Petrie is not good as well.
I'm still just not buying into the Super Bowl.
And then they also drafted Kamari Lassiter and Kalen Bullock, so that secondary is going to be just fine.
Even the AFC Championship, that is a massive win for the season. And I don't know.
I love these unis. These unis are fucking cold, bro.
That is a massive win for the season. And I don't know. I see their best case scenario being like a 2019 Ravens type season where CJ Stroud wins the MVP. And worst case scenario, the absolute doomsday scenario for this Texans team should be a wild card appearance. The New York Jets. Oh boy. Let me just say this first. Aaron Rodgers will not solve all your problems. Screw all the OTAs drama and all that stuff. You can't just plug in a 40-year-old quarterback into an already abysmal offense and pray that he does everything himself, because it's not going to happen.
Calling that offense abysmal is kind of crazy, though. With the, you know what I'm saying, they have talent like Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. They also have Mike Williams, who, when healthy, he is one of the better receivers in the league. They upgraded the offensive line. You know,
we're gonna think a little bit positive here.
So I wouldn't call it abysmal. It's not the greatest, but I wouldn't call it abysmal.
The best defense in the league when healthy, and if you inserted like a 2021 version of Aaron Rodgers into this team, then yeah, you have the best team in football. However, Aaron Rodgers is 40 and he's not the same guy anymore. And your biggest issue is the offensive line, which they've tried to improve time and time again, but we'll see if next season it gets any better. But the main reason that I still don't believe in this team is the coaching. Not only do I think Robert Saleh
he's on the hot seat this year,
but Nathaniel Hackett still truly hasn't the first clue as to how to read the English language. Because The dude is just a quarterback killer. And I don't care if he's had success with Aaron in the past. He couldn't even drop a slant route for Zach Wilson. And I just don't think this team is going to be that good. But God, at this point, a playoff appearance would be a historic event in Jets fans' lives. And I just gotta say, could you imagine how funny it would be if Aaron Rodgers got injured again?
No, don't say that, bro. No. No, bro. Do not say that. Oh my gosh, that sounds so crazy.
The Pittsburgh Steelers might be the most interesting
Bro, I'm gonna
team
feel so
in the
bad for
entire
Jets
NFL
fans.
to me. I think the AFC North is going to be an absolute bloodbath, and the Steelers are going to be involved in that war. But
I hope
they
my
might be
Ravens
a
come
little
out
bit
on
the
top.
outside looking in, just because of how good the Ravens and Bengals could be. But hear me out here, okay? Hear me out. I think the Steelers could have an amazing season next year. Their defense that has the potential to be a top 3 unit in the NFL, with guys like TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Patrick Queen making up the best linebacker room in football, and a healthy Minkah Fitzpatrick could just dominate games. And
Cam Hayward's still there, right?
The 1-2 punch of Najee Harris and Jalen Warren could be enough to get the team to a strong showing in the divisional round. The problem with the Steelers offense right now with Russell Wilson is their ceiling is just really, really low. But what if, say around week 14, Russell Wilson goes down with an injury and in comes Justin Fields
to save the day?
Like I said, with Russ, they can only be
like, I don't care what anybody says, bro. Justin Fields is goated. I don't care what anybody says, bro. Like, the Bears really set him up for failure until last year. Of course, like, you know what I'm saying, they added DJ Moore, but who else would he have to throw to? Darnell Mooney is not one of, you know what I'm saying, the top receivers in the league. He's mid at best, to be for real, bro. Like, he didn't have that much talent, and the offensive line was horrible. This nigga was running for his life damn near every snap. Like, him being on Pittsburgh might actually save his career.
But Justin
like,
Fields
for the best.
raises the roof infinitely higher than the chef does. So if this team has any intentions of going farther than a second round playoff loss, a Russell Wilson injury or getting benched may be their best chance at becoming truly great, because on paper, this roster really, really is underrated. All right, I know, but let me just talk about the Raiders for a second here, okay? I need to get this stuff off my chest. Antonio Pierce is our coach now.
Yeah, Antonio Pierce is going to really save them.
Well,
like, bro, the jump they made after he became head coach last season, oh my gosh. Especially that defense. Bro, that defense. Do not be surprised if that Raiders defense is at least like top 5 or like inside like the top 10 this season.
But
led by Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins.
Talent on offense at pretty much every position.
Them motherfuckers gonna be wrecking shit. And I hope that Tyree Wilson can, you know what I'm saying, have a breakout year as well.
Devontae Adams is still,
because Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby are gonna be drawing mostly double teams and shit.
One week it's Gardner Minshew because he's tearing it up at OTAs, and then the next it's still AOC.
I heard both of them have been struggling.
The team. But what makes this whole situation so sad is that we might have an amazing defense, and it won't matter, because this team has already demonstrated that the defense can carry games when needed, like versus the Chiefs. But with Christian Wilkins here now, Max Crosby won't have to do everything himself. And if Jack Jones can keep up what he was doing last year, and a healthy Nate Hobbs can play amazing, then we have potential to be a team that can actually upset a few contenders or two. So, in other words, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Anyways, if you like this video, then subscribe, because I got a lot of videos on the channel just like this one. And if you did like this video, watch the video I just did on the fall of the Carolina Panthers under Cam Newton. It's pretty good, trust me. And thanks to all my patrons for pledging $1. It truly does mean a lot.
That's it, bro. Hey, what do you guys think? Are y'all excited for the 2024 season? I know damn well I am, bro. Hopefully, my Ravens can make it to the Super Bowl and win it all this year. Y'all let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on post notifications to get notified whenever I drop another banger video. We're on the road to 300 subs. Time to get there for more banger NFL content like this. And without further ado, I'm out. Gang!